Alright guys, what is going on? It is Spherical here, and today we are back with Hunter x Hunter chapter number 386. Last time on, Theta is lucky to be alive. Yeah, she tried to make her move on the 4th, and it didn't really end well. So, I mean, we're gonna jump straight into this. I'm not sure if we're gonna keep going right after what happened there, but we're gonna start. So, let's get into it. There was no blood. No luminol reaction. Right. The bottom line is you didn't shoot the prince. None of that was real. The fresh blood from his head all over the floor, his body, his twitching mouth and fingers, the gurgling in his throat. But the fact is he's alive. And what I thought I saw wasn't real. Yeah, I mean, again, some genjutsu shit. Was it an illusion? But I did fire. Oh, yeah. I was going to mention that actually after my recording. Or after I read the chapter, but I forgot to. Everyone did hear the gunshot, so she did shoot. So that is worth mentioning. But I did fire my gun. What parts, how much of it was real, and what was an illusion? I need some time to think about this. Yeah, so again, her actions, she shot. She shot what she thought was the 4th prince, but it wasn't. So, I mean, I don't know. It's an illusion of some sort. We just don't even know exactly how it works. Morning, day 9, tier 2, Justice Bureau. Get any sleep? Here. When can I get back on duty? We'll see. It depends on how cooperative you are. Kinney left a suicide note saying he acted alone in the prince's escape attempt. It's likely we'll settle on that explanation, but I'm pondering an alternate possibility. A few other princes were impressed by your performance and want to invite you to their suites. Next page. Maybe something or someone among them is thinking the same thing I am. I see. I'm being held to protect me from the dangerous princes, so at least it's true that they're an impartial judicial branch. Tell me in detail what did tell me in detail what you did the other day, and then I'll ask you some questions. And Princess Kacho and Fugetsu? They're also here to answer questions. I don't want to see Fugetsu again. It'll make me sad. They said Kinney tried to force them onto the lifeboat under threat. Besides the note, there isn't anything to remove the suspicion that the princes plotted their own escape. But there's no evidence it was their idea either, so proving it will be difficult. I mean, they're saying impossible. I mean, there's nothing we can really pin them on right now. But I can be persistent. I'll take my time to question them thoroughly. Thank you. I'll use this time to consider my next moves. Normal pulse. Nothing unusual in the brainwaves. According to the numbers, he's just asleep. So Sumidori's soul possessed Shikaku's body? Yeah, but it doesn't feel different from my own body. Then where's Shikaku? Or Shikaku? Is that it? Yeah, okay, Shikaku. Swapped out. Somewhere else. Or in the same body. We need to find out. When I fire an arrow into target A, one of our souls possesses and takes over A. So what happens to A's consciousness or soul? There are 4 possibilities. Death equals gone. Okay, so okay, I'm reading it backwards. So the bow fires target A. And then the 4 options of what could happen. Death. Switch bodies with Sumidori. Coexist within Shikaku's body. Somewhere or someone else. Okay. Okay, we're going to discuss that in a second, but I'm going to keep going because we're in the middle of this conversation. So, for now, there's no way to prove or disprove any of these. If it's 3 and Shikaku's soul remains in the body, it seems I pushed him out and he remains buried in subconscious. It'll be difficult to verify 1 and 4. But if Sumidori's brain waves change, we can confirm 2, that someone is in there. We need to find out. I talked to Father, accepted my fate, and steeled myself for what I had to do. This ability awakened in me right after. Okay. Okay, we'll keep going. I'm confident this is the ability I need to win the succession battle. Keep that in mind as I share with you my hypothesis. All right. So they're talking about this ability. There's dolphins in the water. They're writing it on the board. We looked on the hallway. Next page. I see. It's possible. Of course, this is only a gut feeling I have since I don't know how Nen works. I need an expert of Nen to back me up on this if possible. But this process is absolutely necessary to understand this ability. Sumidori, will you do this for me? Of course, with pleasure. Thank you. Okay. Interesting. So that whole conversation, it kind of just came up suddenly, and it's involving a lot of the ability that Hulkenberg is talking about. We know nothing about, and it seems like he just awakened this after right after he accepted his fate, which is right after he talked to Father and said, "Hey, I'm gonna leave," and yet that whole deal, and then he talked to him. Yeah, that whole thing. So okay, so just to look back at the image, he has a bow. He attacks A. So okay, when I fire an arrow into target A, one of our souls possesses and takes over A. So what happens to A's consciousness or soul? So what he's saying is, you shoot a target, and then one random comrade, one of his his lackeys, transfers their consciousness into, or they take over A, which in this case is Shikaku, right? I think. Or is yeah. Okay. And Sumidori's soul is the one that possessed him, apparently. That's kind of what we're getting here. And so we don't know what happens to the person that takes over the body. Right? Or we don't we don't know what happens. Sorry. We don't know what happens to the person whose body gets taken over. Right? So if I get hit by the arrow and somebody takes over my body, the question is, what happens to me? What happens to my consciousness? Do I die? Do I switch bodies? Do I take over the body of the person who swapped with me? Do I coexist in the same body, so I'm still here just as like as a backseat driver? Or am I somewhere else, or someone else? Okay. And again, I wanted to save talking about that before we finish with that conversation, just so we could get the whole lay of what's happening. So it's a very interesting ability, and it's something that, again, we don't really. I guess how do we, like, how long does the consciousness transfer happen? Like, how are we gonna find out? I guess they don't know, right? That's what they're saying. They don't really know anything right now. So, yeah. All right, let me just keep going. This is page 7 and 8. Or I guess page 8, to be specific. There it is again. What? The rumbling of aura. It's next door. Ninth Prince Hulkenberg? Yeah, whatever ability it is, it's serious trouble. Ding dong. Next page. Stay there, Your Highness. Who's there? First Prince Benjamin's soldier. It's news to me. Ask what he wants. May I help you? Long live His Highness, First Prince Benjamin. Pop? He killed himself. Okay. That's got to be like a condition to activate an ability or something, right? Because what the... Next page? Okay, everybody's on... Okay, wait, hold on. So he did that, like they were looking at it through the camera, so they never opened the door. Everybody's confused. What was that? Shot fired in the hallway. Probably the First Prince's soldier. Hey, Rice, what did he do? He shot himself in the head. Yeah, that's really weird. That's something, I don't know. It's a little weird. The rumbling stopped. What was that anyway? First Prince Benjamin, Shikaku. Oh, that was Shikaku. Oh. Okay. So I guess maybe now we'll find out if, well, will we find out anything? I don't know. Shikaku committed suicide. No doubt due to Hulkenberg's ability. Hulkenberg. He leads to the top of the blacklist. Yes, he's become the most dangerous man. Summon Congeal back from room 1007. Make him remember everything. Next page. Oops, I actually went ahead 2 pages. Ninth Prince Hulkenberg. What's your post and service number? Okay. So we're going to try and find out who's in his body now. Again, going back, that is... Again, the names are like all over the place for me. This is Sumidori. Or this is Sumidori's body. Wait. Hold on. Yeah, because Shikaku was the one who just killed himself, right? So that means that this is Sumidori. But we don't know where he is. Like, or we don't know who's in that body right now. Because he just woke up. So, would that be Shikaku that's in his body? Or did Sumidori go back into his body after killing Shikaku? Because Sumidori was the one controlling Shikaku when he shot himself in the head, correct? I think. Anyways, we're going to keep going. What's your post and service number? All right, so back to Kurapika. That way, it clearly wasn't the even side of the hall. I bet it's 9, 7, or 5. Can you roll out third Prince Zhengli? Not totally, but it's not his guardian spirit beast aura. As someone who can't feel it, all I can do is nod accordingly. You guys are on high alert. Was it that dangerous? A large amount of energy instantaneously vanished the way a balloon bursts, a phenomenon that often happens when emitters use their ability. It's not difficult for an emitter attack to penetrate physical barriers. Who's attacking whom and how? Not knowing is the most dangerous thing. Next page. Anyway, so we have 1 week left. Everyone's starting to question repeating the same training over and over. Are we really going to be able to use Nen? Well, we'll move to the next step tomorrow. True, I should get started. All right. So they're doing the Nen type test now. Whoa, the water changed color and the leaf is spinning. Is this an ability? This shows that my ability is one of the specialist type, called Water Divination. This determines what type of Nen you have. It can't be used with those who can't produce enough aura, but some of you are showing promising signs. Ladiolus. What? You've been quickest to learn. Let's start with you. Oh, okay. Clever. By picking someone unexpected, he's subtly implying Nen talent has nothing to do with gender or physical strength. Now the muscleheads will feel compelled to focus more on training. Okay. I guess. Man, that may be a bit of a stretch, but I guess maybe that's what Kurapika was going for there by picking her or him. I think it's a her. However, ability types shouldn't be revealed to anyone else, though the impact is small for a specialist like me who remains ambiguous. Yes. So, and that is important too. He did just reveal to everybody here that he is a specialist. I didn't even think of that. So that's interesting. Okay. Or that he is a specialist when he has his you know. Anyways, letting your type be known to the enemy is as bad as telling your opponent what you're going to throw when you play rock, paper, scissors to determine who will go first in the game. We will do it in another room to keep it confidential. Who will oversee the test? Only Bill and I. I can't agree to this. We can't tell if it's really the test if it's behind closed doors. True. This is the thing with Kurapika's training is it is totally suspicious, like from the point of view of the people here, but he has his reasons for everything. All right, next page. If you tell us the criteria in advance, why do we even need to be here? Basically, you're right, but let me be frank. I promise you learn Nen in 2 weeks. We won't be doing the divination the usual way, but in a way that requires our assistance. Bill and I will attend. That's non-negotiable. He said the impact is small, but that's only comparatively. There is still a considerable risk to myself. I assert that information on you is payment, as just rewards. Furthermore, there's only one reason for us, the young Prince of Wobble's bodyguards, to teach Nen. That is to boost the lower-ranked prince's guards with information and power to prolong the stalemate. Consequently, it doesn't make sense for us to become a threat to you. If you remain unconvinced, you can call it quits here. Oh, excuse me. Yes, everything that he's saying is true. So again, It's just weird. Like knowing this is one of those things where like knowing Kurapika's plan, obviously everything makes sense. But from the point of view of all these bodyguards, Kurapika's been so freaking shady. Like he admitted to it. Quite refreshing. It's what we all knew. So it's significant that we identified him as a specialist. I know I'm kind of surprised he just did that out of the blue. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that hasn't been addressed, but he just straight up, like he's saying one of the worst things you could do is show your hand before it's played, and he just did. He showed his Nen type. Want to swap out with Rion? Rion's ability should be used to eliminate the Prince's beast. After 8th Prince Sally, he moved on to monitor 5th Prince Tubeppa, right? It seems to take after Tubeppa's temperament. It's being cautious and refusing to show itself. If we think of it as Rion suppressing Tubeppa's beast, he's being perfectly effective. That sounds like an excuse for yourself. What about the analysis for 14th Prince Wobbles beast? It was due yesterday. It's not showing itself, so there's nothing I can do. We don't know if the host is too young, or if it's a counterattacking type, or something else. It's still the first week. Yeah, I know it's still the first week, and and barely anything's happened. And it's taken so long. All right, anyways. It's not our move to make yet. Or it's not our move yet to make. This is so enlightening. A lesson in strategic patience. Next page. What? You're applying the 4 exercises already? Yeah. Now I have to shorten my Zetsu response time as much as I can. This is the fourth room, of course. What? In only 1 week? I'm trying to get it down to the blink of an eye, but this might take some time. He mastered this much? Not awakened by force, but his own devices? What should I do? Time me from when I close my eyes to when I open them. Once it's less than a second, then we spar. I do want to mention, too, the only time we've ever seen anybody learn Nen this quick was God and Killua. And keep in mind, God and Killua got a boost from Ling, right? He did like the activating the glands, you know, that whole thing where he gave him a boost. But the 4th is like he's done this all on his own, just straight up. And this is about, 1 week, right? God and Killua, I can't remember exactly how long they had, but it was very short notice before their match, or before their deadline, right? That they had to learn Nen. Although, to be fair, I guess they took a little bit longer, because even though they learned Nen very quickly, it still took them a while to master each rank. It was still a very, very short timeline compared to what you're supposed to do, but I don't think it was only 1 week, right? So, he's mastered the four categories of Nen, or for the most part, he's kind of learned them in 1 week, which is insane. Time me from when I close my eyes to when I open them. Once it's less than a second, then we spar. He instinctively knows he needs combat to go above a certain point. Buying time with him will be rough. All right. By the way, I've been surprised at my own change of heart. A two-faced woman can be pretty cute. To be continued. Damn. So again, that confirms he knows. He's pretty much known from the beginning that she was deceiving him. Which again, last chapter, all we knew that his Nen Beast knew. We didn't really know that the 4th knew per se, but he knows, right? He knows. So I'm curious as to whether or not this is him maybe hinting towards something romantic between the two of them, or at least that he feels towards her, or if he's just being a creep, because he is very like, he is literally fucking skinned women. He is fucked up. So I hope that this doesn't mean that, he now is kind of viewing her as a potential possession, because I feel like that's something you don't want to be in his mind. I don't think you want to be on his list. And it looks like she just made it to his list. Although, I don't know, maybe he views her in a romantic way, in the sense that, like, he actually would want, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into this. All he said was that she can be pretty cute. I'm definitely reading too much into this. Of course, assuming he is talking about Theta, which he obviously is. So, man, again, I've said this a couple of times, but this, again, technically this hasn't been, put into a volume format these past couple of chapters, but once they are put into a volume format, I would say this is probably overall the best volume yet. It's just had consistently like banger after banger chapter. And I'm like, it sucks so much that we are like within the last couple of chapters now, because this is the best that this has been. It's been such a long build up, and we're still in build up technically, but I feel like, again, the past like 10 chapters, we've been at the point where we're starting to see the payoff of all the build up, right? It's still confusing. There's still a lot of characters that I still barely know, even though we've seen them so many times, but we're at the point where it's all coming together in a very interesting and exciting way. So, yeah, I mean, compliment to the series, but also it sucks because who knows how long we'll have to wait to continue with this. How much chapters are there? I need to know exactly when this ends now, because we are getting into the like only a couple weeks left point. Is it 389? 390. So 4 chapters left after this. That means that a month from today we will be done with this. And the sad reality is we're probably going to be done with this for a long time. And the other sad reality of this is, even when this comes back, who knows how long it'll be for. If it's like only a couple chapters and then hiatus again, like, I don't know, it sucks. This is the only reason why I kind of regret catching up, is now I'm stuck in the manga space of, and especially not just the manga space, but the Hunter x Hunter space of having to wait for new chapters. It's going to be a grind. I am glad that I caught up though, because again, especially after reading this far, I'm genuinely not convinced that this is ever going to be animated. I'm really not sure that it will be, because I'm more concerned about whether or not this will ever be finished, period. Now, granted, even if Togashi doesn't finish it, I'm pretty confident that, and I'm not sure if this has ever really happened before. Let me know if there's ever been like a big series where this has happened, but I wouldn't be surprised if Togashi, handed this, this story off to somebody else if he's not able to continue. I know the reason as to why Togashi has been on so many hiatuses is up in the air. Like, nobody fucking knows. But I don't know. I would really hate to see this just disappear into limbo. You know what I mean? So, because the problem is, now here's my mentality behind this is, even when Togashi does decide to come back in full swing, this is a long ass arc. Like, this is going to take a long time to finish. Like, if we're going back to like just monthly chapters, this is going to take years to finish. And we're not at the point where there's monthly chapters. We're at the point where there's maybe a chapter or two a year, right? So I don't know, man. See, I feel like I'm part of the family now. I'm starting to feel like worried about the future of this series with all of you guys. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. So it sucks that we're getting to the end, but I'm still overall glad that I picked this series up, or picked the manga up. Because again, who knows? I mean, realistically speaking, if this does ever get finished and animated, who knows if I'll ever even be into anime at that point. I could be like 30 years old, or you know what I mean? Like, so yeah. This is one of the manga series that I definitely, although I like to keep everything to anime, I definitely think this was like a must for me to catch up to the manga, even though it's gonna suck even more, because this, I know I talked about this a lot, but this is one thing I hate about manga, is being caught up with it. I'm okay with like having weekly anime episodes and then waiting a year for a new season, but there's nothing I hate more than having to only be able to read like a chapter a month. I hate it so much, and that's the number one reason why I don't really read a whole lot of manga. Is every time I do and I catch up to a series, I just forget about it and never end up finishing it, because I just can't stand only reading one chapter a month. Because it's like you blow through it in 10 minutes and then that's it. You know what I mean? So anyways, though, this is kind of a meta conversation, not really about Hunter x Hunter anymore. So I'm gonna leave it off here. So as always, early access and full link, that is down at patreon.com/FirgoFilm. I'm sorry, I was distracted for a second. And as always, I just fucking, goddamn it. I thank you guys for watching. Talk to you guys all next week with chapter number 387 of Hunter x Hunter. Until then, peace out.